Hey, everybody, welcome. Here we go. Episode 20 of Tough Bumps. My name is Matt Connerton, and of course, joining me, as always, my partner in crime in this venture, all the way from the great state of Iowa, Eric Pilcher is here. Hello, Eric.
Hello, Matt.
How are you?
I am doing really, really good.
Good, I'm glad.
I want to do something special.
Okay.
I want to say thank you to our fans and supporters.
Mm-hmm.
Without them, we're not here. And I
Right.
think any in this business with any modicum of brain matter or common sense would realize without your audience, you have nothing.
That is true.
So their support and everything keeps us going. Thank you for being with us for 20 episodes. I think our streaming numbers are doing quite well.
Yes.
I don't know if you have those handy or not, but
I
checked.
know that we're I know that we're beating the competition, shall we say?
I think we're beating Uncle Dave.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
No,
we are.
we're
you don't
beating
think we
Uncle.
are? You don't think we're beating Uncle Dave? Okay, probably not.
We're close to Uncle Dave.
Okay. Okay.
But say that I feel like we're gaining traction. I do see the YouTube views, and they're pretty impressive. I mean, keep in mind, people, we don't do a lot of advertising. Probably something we should work on. Get it? Matt's a busy guy. I am not, being on leave from work due to an injury. So I could. Excuse me, we would have to figure out admin duties and such. But thank you to the people who view us and watch us and everything like that, and listen to me sometimes ramble incoherently.
Yes.
Your patronage is appreciated.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. Of course. Of course. There is someone who refers to us as Ratso and Monkey Boy. So not everyone appreciates us.
Well, in order for everyone has haters, but you know what they say, Matt? Haters are your fans in disguise.
Yes. Yes.
Because your haters are going to be the ones that constantly listen to you.
That's true.
No, they're going to tune in.
That's true. That's true.
Every little thing we do. The fact that they had a ridiculous nickname for us just shows how much we matter to them. So thank you to that individual. Thank you for thinking so much about us. You had to come up with a nickname.
Yes,
and for having erotic fantasies about both Matt and I.
He does. He does talk about things that he wants to do to us with our butts. Yeah.
I've noticed something. You ever notice how he'll talk about something homoerotic about you, and then he'll instantly get mad about Jenny?
I have noticed that. Yes, he's clearly very jealous.
Yes, very jealous of Jenny. And Jenny's a great woman, doing big things. You can let's go positive here, even more positive than episode 20.
Oh yes, Jenny will be tonight for those watching or viewing live. Jenny will be, of course, you can always find it later too on demand. She'll be on John Oliver last week with John Oliver. Last week tonight, I'm sorry, is the name of the show on HBO. That will be airing tonight at 11 p.m. on Sunday night, and then I believe the next day it goes up on their YouTube channel, so you'll be able to see it. So she's in a segment. She does a lot of healthcare activism about access to healthcare. That's why one of the reasons that's where this hat came from, actually, that I'm wearing. But yeah, so she'll be tonight on John Oliver. So check that out. It's a pretty big deal.
That's awesome. Kudos to Jenny. Much like you and I, sometimes Jenny and I have political differences of opinion.
Sure.
So yeah.
So that's exciting. Now, she won't be as famous as, of course, Sammy Hagar after tonight, but
or our VPN goddess.
Or the UP or our VPN goddess, Stephanie McMahon. Speaking of Sammy Hagar, though, he was in the news because this impersonator who did impersonate him at a WWF event back in 1986. Apparently, he's at it again and has been caught. This is what he looks like now. And so there he is in all his glory. Now I believe he's 78 years old, living in New York City. And I'll just say, this is the same guy who criticizes. He was very critical of my appearance recently, saying that I was aging terribly and that I looked very old all of a sudden. And that's this guy here that you see in the upper left. That's the same guy.
Man, you talk about aging horribly.
Yeah, I mean, I do think I look better than him.
You too.
Thank you. So this is what he looks like now. I'm sorry, what?
He's gotten lighter than we thought fake Sammy Hagar looked like. I think there's two of them, Matt.
Really?
I think it's a ring of fake Sammy Hagars.
Oh, that could be. They could all be in cahoots. Well, because
the one that we know it is, he has said it's all right if you're all white. Maybe that got passed down to this one.
Yeah, because this one does appear to be an albino.
Yes.
Yes. So you don't think it's the same guy?
I'm going on here.
All right. Well, very good. We should put the other one back on the screen just for a moment, though, because there he is. I don't know if that's from the WWF event where he was impersonating, or if that's on stage with Mailbox Dog.
I think it's Mailbox Dog's reunion tour.
Oh goodness! Well, that's horrifying. What a terrible band. Cool name. Terrible band.
Their music video looked like total crap. I remember watching it. It looked like it was put down in Microsoft Paint.
Yes. Terrible band. I hear they're going to be on streaming platforms everywhere soon. Avoid them. Horrible band. Avoid them at all costs.
You really won't be able to take much more.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, should we get to our news items this week? What do you want to start with, Eric?
I'd say we start with a Halloween costume.
Oh, yes. Let's see. Let me get that up here. There we go. Now, does he know that you were planning to do this?
I totally don't believe in journalistic integrity. Yeah. I asked everyone, this is a co-creator of Tough Bumps. My cousin, Austin Hicks, in his Halloween costume, he is John Cena.
He's John what?
John Cena.
Oh, okay. For some reason, it sounded funny in my headphones the way you said it the first time. I thought you were putting a different spin on it. John Cena, yes. There he is. So that's your cousin Austin.
Yes, that is Austin Hicks.
Austin Hicks.
This is what makes wrestling great. I was around this kid for all of his life. He was born 2 days before I graduated high school.
Yeah.
And when he was young, he loved John Cena. He had the WWE toy kit. He had the spinning belt. He had it all. He had almost every John Cena figure you could imagine. And what makes pro wrestling great is if we sit there and look up to professional athletes, they come and go. But it's almost as if professional wrestlers that you adore and you look up to and you have a hero worship of, so to speak, they stick with you throughout your life. They really do.
Absolutely. What does he love about John Cena?
You know, we've never had that discussion. I give him crap about it. I use the whole 5 moves of doom, but I have breaking news for our
Okay.
Tough Bumps. It's a couple months away, but we will do a 2-part career retrospective on John Cena.
Yes.
And we will have a special guest host for both episodes, Matt.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, we will. Austin Hicks, V.A. Hizzle, one of the creators of the Late Night Crew, which you can find on SoundCloud. Look for their hit song Applebee's.
Oh, wow.
He will be joining us to talk about the career of John Cena for both episodes.
Okay. Excellent. Well, we look forward to that. Very good. Very good. All right. Anything else to say on that?
No, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun, and I can't think of anyone better to have as a guest host than Austin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, very good. All right. I look forward to meeting him.
He is a major John Cena fan. And a rapper with his group, the Late Night Crew.
Do they continue? Are they active?
Hiatus right now.
Okay. All right. I'll check them out though.
They're actually contributing members of society. Maybe you can talk to him about coming on Matt Connerton Unleashed.
Maybe.
The lyrics might be a little risque. They are a rap group.
Well, I am able to make radio edits.
You know what? Maybe we can work something out. Maybe this can be a bridge. We've already had kind of like a collabo. That's what the young people call it.
I think they say collab, don't they? Do the collabo?
Diddy said collabo.
He did? Did he? Well, he's kind of canceled though.
Kinda. Going to prison.
Yeah.
He's already been in the courtroom. He was ready for prison.
Yeah.
He could be getting muted. So
that's true. That's true. He could get a pardon. Well, so I'm sorry. So should we move on to our next news item?
On.
What? Say that again?
We probably should move on because we'll get canceled ourselves.
Oh my goodness. Well, yes. Where would you like to go next?
How about the plans for the WWF Championship?
Yes, Seth Rollins has vacated his title. His title's been vacated. He has been stripped, however you want to say it, due to his injury, which does turn out to be legitimate. So now it's going to be CM Punk versus Jey Uso.
I will say he copied my look. There is a photo of him wearing an immobilizer.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course.
You know what? I'm just going to come out and say it, Matt. Mm-hmm. I am a revolutionary. I am the visionary now.
You are. That's amazing. Well, congratulations.
We have popularized shoulder injuries.
Wow. Well, someone had to. Yeah. Might as well be someone from, because you are, of course, and it makes sense that he would copy you because you are from Iowa and he is from Iowa. And the only reason I know that is because in his ring entrance, they say Davenport, Iowa.
Well, I'm from a bigger city than him as well.
Yeah.
Cedar is bigger than Davenport, unless you account for the other 3 parts of the Quad Cities. Then it's not.
Okay.
Davenport is a part of 4 cities called the Quad Cities.
Okay. Okay.
Dorf, Moline, Rock Island, and Davenport. 2 of them are in Illinois. 2 of them are in Iowa.
Okay. I'm glad you say Illinois correctly, by the way. As a Midwesterner, of course you do. But a lot of people, see, I learned, because I don't know if you know this about me. I spent a lot of time in Illinois as a kid because...
live there.
Say that again, Eric. I'm sorry.
parents live there.
My mother, yeah. Now she lives in Kenosha, Wisconsin, but she did live in Illinois, and she would always it would always bother her when she would hear people say Illinois because the S is silent. So I commend you for saying that correctly because many people say that wrong. I've heard journalists and national media mispronounce it.
Much like a city in Iowa, people mispronounce it as Des Moines. And
You've actually heard people say it, Des Moines?
I have.
Oh, that's just embarrassing. Wow.
Flying from Augusta, Maine. I had a connecting flight in Georgia. And the lady goes, now boarding for Des Moines, Iowa.
Wow, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. So you have any kind of a prediction for the match? CM Punk versus Jey Uso?
This is one of the few times in pro wrestling where I have to sit there and say, I have no idea. They could go so many different directions. Yeah. They could have Punk win. They could have Jey Uso win. They could have one of them win and turn heel. They could have someone else interfere and turn heel. There are so many different ways they could go about it. We're getting close to Gunther returning. There's rumors of Chris Jericho returning. There are so many different ways they can go about this. I have what I hope happens. I hope CM Punk wins. Mm-hmm. Being a Punk fan, I want it. Me too. And I feel robbed. But I could see him going with Jay and having a heel turn occur.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
That would make perfect sense. There's obviously a growing discontentment with Jey Uso in the IWC right now. Over 80,000 dislikes on the video of him winning the Royal Rumble, winning the Battle Royal, to see who would take on. Now that could be a variety of things. Could be upset that Braun Breaker didn't get the nod, which I do agree with. Because if you put Braun Breaker in that spot, and we talked about this last week, so we're not going to go too far into it, but if you put him in that spot and he fails, you destroy him. It's over. You have to send him back to NXT. You have to build him back up. You have to find a new gimmick. It's over and done. You cannot rebuild from that.
I think you can if you do it right, if you're smart about it. But I don't think as we discussed last week, I don't have the same concern about that you do.
You can put him. There are ways you can put him in those events to protect him. Mm-hmm. And from that damage, putting him in this spot, in an emergency mop-up duty spot, is wrong. Because if he fails, it's going to be remembered.
Yeah, I just think his upside is so great that he literally, they would have to try to screw it up to actually screw it up. You know what I mean?
Names that had upside and they screwed it up. Damian Sandow, Austin Theory, Baron Corbin. Pushes can get derailed for a lot of reasons, but
I just worry about it a lot less with Triple H in charge than I did with Vince. With Vince, I expected things to get screwed up. I don't expect it with Triple H.
Times, as much as people like to disagree with this, creative doesn't even have control over it. It just happens. You botch a big spot, you mess up a promo, you do something that at the time seems so innocuous that it doesn't have that lasting impact. But you know who I thought should have won the Royal Rumble?
Who?
Sorry, the battle. I keep misspeaking.
Yeah. Who?
Yeah.
Say that again?
LA Knight.
LA Knight. Yeah, the fans, I think that's why the fans are, why in the IWC they're resenting Jey Uso a little bit. They want to see LA Knight finally get his moment as champion.
It's not even so much a moment as champion. It's let him be in the main event.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because the only time I can think of offhand where he's really actually been in the main event was at Crown Jewel that time against Roman Reigns. And obviously LA Knight was not going over in that. And that was a foregone conclusion.
A believable spot. Like he performed very well in that match.
Mm-hmm.
He did the job and it looked good.
Yeah.
It just kind of was like, okay, we gave it to you. Back to the mid card.
Yeah, the clock is ticking on him too. You know, he's what, 41, 42 now. They need to strap that rocket on and even if it's a short trip, do it. You got to do it now. Time's running out.
Yeah, like, well, you've had that rocket on CM Punk and he's the same damn age.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
no, he's older.
It is his birthday.
CM Punk's birthday?
Yes, it is.
What is he, 46, I think?
7 now.
47, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah. But Punk is always over no matter what. But LA Knight, I mean, I think they got to give him one world title reign.
I don't think they got to give him one world title reign. It has to happen organically. It has to happen so the fans don't see through it. So they're not like, okay, this is just a token. Hey, good career. Here you go. Type deal.
Sure. But again, the clock is running out. I mean, I know. Yeah. I mean, CM Punk is 47, R-Truth is 53 or something. I know, but still, it's, you can't wait till he's 45 to do this. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, the Saturday night's main event is shaping up to be a blockbuster night too. You have Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill,
mm-hmm.
and then you have Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. We could see 3 new. We're guaranteed to see 1 new champion out of Saturday night.
Why do you say that?
Well, because Jey Uso and CM Punk are having a match for the vacant.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Well, but we very well could see it coming out of 2. We could see 2 more with Cody and Drew. There is a clamoring that maybe you do have Cody drop it to Drew.
Yeah.
Because bringing Randy Orton back and you are having a feud between Cody and Randy. That feud does not need the title.
Right. That's true. Good point.
You have a good enough story without the title. And I think the title would almost be a detriment to their story.
Why?
Because you're not going to have Randy Orton drop you're not going to have Cody drop the title to Randy Orton. You're not. This would make no sense.
Oh, I agree.
So into it, everyone's going to be like, oh, well, they're not going to have Cody. They're not going to have Cody lose to Randy in this.
Right.
They're not going to have Cody drop the belt, or it's going to be a schmaz finish. But you have Randy turn on Cody, cost him the title. Now you have this story where you have Cody. Does he go back after Drew to get his title back, or does he go after Randy?
Mm-hmm.
Randy keeps screwing him over at every opportunity till they build to a match between the two.
Yeah. Where is Orton, by the way? I feel like we haven't seen him in a few weeks.
I think he's taking time off. I think that's kind of the big thing. They want him. He's an extreme part-timer right now. And he's earned that right.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, should we move on to the next news item?
Yes.
Let's see. Oh, before we do that, I meant to mention this at the top of the show and I completely forgot. I'll mention this now before we move on to the next news item. And I kind of put you on the spot a little bit, Eric, but it's completely up to you. No pressure either way. But this coming Saturday on November 1st on Matt Connerton Unleashed, joining me in the second hour of the program will be the one and only Charles Richardson, host of the Charles Richardson Show, coming on to talk some wrestling. And you are welcome to join us for that if you'd like.
All right. I think I should be able to.
Okay. Okay. Very good. So just wanted to throw that out there. And if for any reason you can't, that's okay. I know I'm putting you on the spot, but if you think you can, that's great.
I'll be back at work yet. So
yeah. All right. All right. Very good. Very good. Let's see. So we have Abdullah the Butcher. Wow, look at that guy. How'd you like to have him over for Thanksgiving?
I wouldn't.
No. Now before we talk about, I'll just preface this by saying I don't know how you feel about him. I was never a fan of Abdullah the Butcher because I'm not a fan of blood and gore and shoving screwdrivers into people's foreheads or whatever the hell this guy did. But go ahead.
Abdullah, that isn't. My issue with Abdullah is it's rumored, heavily rumored, that he has hepatitis C.
Oh, yes, I've heard that.
And he's continued doing bloody brawls. I also was at an independent wrestling show in Omaha, Nebraska, that he appeared at. And, you know, it's kind of a thing where if you're a wrestling legend, you take the boys aside after their matches at the show because you're getting paid big money to be there. And you're making money off autograph sales and all your merch sales and whatever the hell.
Probably more than what they get paid to be there in some cases.
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes they get a cut of the ticket of the gate. So, but Abdullah decides he isn't going to do this. He's sitting with the fans openly shitting on the wrestlers.
Oh, wow. Really?
And fans are getting off on it. They think it's a work. It's not a work. This guy's just being a legitimate asshole.
Wow.
Like before intermission, they had a Falls Count Anywhere match, and the whole time Abdullah is ripping on the spots they're doing.
Well, that's not cool.
Shitty way to be, because it's like, one, you're not. No one ever has said, in my opinion, no one has wanted to watch an Abdullah the Butcher match because of Abdullah the Butcher. They want to watch it for Bruiser Brody or somebody else from World Class Championship Wrestling. It has not a damn thing to do with Bruiser Brody. I mean, sorry, Abdullah the Butcher. Rest in peace, Bruiser. No disrespect. So yeah, that's my issue with Abdullah, and it just soured me on. I wasn't a major fan going into it.
Yeah.
And then him and Ian Rotten, Pro Wrestling Grifter, had a match in IWA where they bled everywhere like stuck pigs. Blood on fans, white blood on fans of t-shirts. It was just disgusting.
Oh my God.
But I do know this. He has had some severe health issues for many, many years now. He has been hospitalized. Not a lot of word on what's going on with him.
Okay. How old is he? I mean, he must be up there, right?
4 years old.
How old?
84.
Oh, 84. Okay. Yeah. He's wow. But he's been recently having matches at his age?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, match with Ian occurred in the early 2000s.
Gotcha. But even then, he was like, that's kind of old to be getting in the ring. Wow.
He had matches in his 60s.
Who did?
Shane Douglas is still doing matches.
Yeah, I know. Just Abdullah, such a big guy already. You know, you would think he'd be drop dead of a heart attack or something. But
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing's been confirmed as of the time of this writing. It was written roughly 24 hours ago.
Okay. All right. Well, best wishes, Abdullah. I'm sorry. What?
Serious health issues, and that he needs the prayers and support of fans now more than ever.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. All right. Well, shall we move on to the main event?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we're talking about heel turns.
Yes. And I'll let you, Matt, educate the uneducated, so to speak, on what a heel is.
Oh, when you say uneducated, do you mean him?
More towards the original fake Sammy Hagar.
Oh, you mean him?
Yes.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
They.
With apologies to our audio listeners, but yes. So a heel turn, of course, is when a babyface, a quote unquote good guy, suddenly well, not necessarily suddenly, but becomes a bad guy, turns to the dark side, turns heel. That is a heel turn, and of course, a babyface turn is the inverse of that.
Double turn.
Well, you can have a double turn.
Is when two turns happen in the same match. Yes. And I'm sure about the greatest double turn ever in this episode. Because we've talked about it many times before.
Yeah, of course. Well, where would you like to start with this? I mean,
I think the starting point would have to be, why do you do a heel turn?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, really, the way I see it, I would say for the same reason you do a babyface turn. If you want to freshen up a character, if you want to, maybe they've become a bit stale and you want to do something new with them, or sometimes it's a matter of finding out or trying to see if someone's better suited to that role. Like The Rock, for example, comes to mind. When The Rock was a white meat babyface as Rocky Maivia, and the fans hated him so much and they didn't buy the gimmick, and there's Rocky. Rocky is very adorable, adorable dog. But when the fans weren't buying into Rocky Maivia, and then he turned heel, joining the Nation of Domination and all that, it turned out he was a fantastic heel. So good at being a heel that eventually he had to turn face again because the fans found him to be so entertaining in this new role, and that happens too sometimes.
I think the big thing with The Rock, and that's a very good one to bring up, is it was just such a shitty gimmick.
When he was a babyface initially, yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. My goodness, it was bad. There are ideas that you hear some wrestlers talk about as this was their original idea for me, and I'm like, no. Like they wanted to turn the Ringmaster into the Iceman Steve Austin. Yes. And they had him wear an ice suit like Mr. Freeze.
Yeah. And he had the good sense to reject that idea.
Yeah, he basically told Bill, he said point blank, Vince, that's the shits.
Yeah.
Which is wrestling for, I'm not doing that. That is a bad idea.
Right.
They originally had called Mick Foley Mankind the Mutilator.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then Mick's like, well, that's a lot for me to get out. Why don't we just shorten it?
Yeah.
Mankind.
Yeah. And he was right.
He was, I mean, most of the time the wrestlers are right because they are in front of the fans nightly, and it's what are they gonna feel comfortable do? What are they gonna be comfortable doing?
Mm-hmm.
If they're not comfortable, it's not gonna be believable.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always harken back to the night on Thursday, Raw Thursday, most known for when Shawn Michaels lost his smile,
Yes.
but something else happened on that was rather historic. Rocky Maivia beat Triple H for the Intercontinental title.
Mm-hmm.
Then known after Hurst Helmsley. Doc Hendricks is interviewing him, and the crowd is audibly booing
Mm-hmm.
during the interview.
Yeah.
Like it. That's when you know.
Yeah. Well, because at that point you've got nothing to lose. If you've got a babyface who's being booed to that extent, you've got nothing to lose, right? You might as well try him as a heel because obviously what you're doing isn't working.
Or God, until he got injured. He injured his shoulder, I think, was the overwhelming story. Or what happened. Sorry. The Rock injured his shoulder, came back.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are. And he came back as a member of the Nation of Domination.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And got over huge. What's interesting about that too, about The Rock is, so if you fast forward to years later, you know, he becomes a part-timer because he's making movies. He's spending a lot of time in Hollywood. And then he comes back as a babyface because now he's this big Hollywood actor. And the fans were starting to boo him. And they ended up turning him again. But this time it was interesting because they'd done something they'd never really, that I can recall, really done before, where The Rock, so he's turning, but he's actually like acknowledging, I'm turning heel this time because you guys clearly want me to be a heel. Remember that promo where he says to the audience, he says, do you realize where we're all going to go? If I forget exactly how he said the rest of it, but because obviously he didn't say if I turn heel, but he's like, you know, you really want that version of The Rock or something like that. And that's what they wanted. And that's what he gave them. And then because he gave them that, what happens? Now he's a heel, but now some of the crowd is cheering him as a heel because this is the version of The Rock they wanted, and now they're getting it. So it's interesting. It's different than when I first started watching it when I was a kid, because, you know, at some point it became, a lot of people would cheer. Like if the heel is entertaining enough and you're enjoying him as a heel, you're going to end up cheering him, even though he's supposed to be a heel. The dynamics have changed a lot over the years, but
They have. And a lot of it is due to dirt sheets. The bands have become smartened up, but the detriment to that is the fans think they know better than the wrestlers. And I think that was a big thing that The Rock did when he did that, is you don't really know, because you think you caused this heel turn. No. I'll turn it, and it's going to be on you. And you know what? I've been in Hollywood. I've been making movies. I don't have to come back and be a professional wrestler. I can just make movies. You all suck.
yeah.
And it worked perfectly. I mean, because first time he took a hiatus to do movies, he came back and was over like Rover as a babyface.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second time he did it, again, over like Rover.
Mm-hmm.
He had a match with Eddie Guerrero on Raw. Off of that had it was kind of the precipice that built towards the office realizing Eddie can run with this ball here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you sit there and you're watching it, and then the third time it happened, he came back, he had dropped the belt to Brock, and it was the night after WrestleMania, and he had finally beat Stone Cold at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, who's next?
Yeah.
Goldberg debuts. And look, you know, The Rock is, I don't know if there's a better professional wrestler at being able to play, to be able to play to the crowd, no matter what they.
Yeah.
Then
Oh yeah.
he can flip it like that. That's why I feel not having him, and you've agreed with this, for the John Cena heel turn was what killed the John Cena heel turn.
Sort of. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Under the when don't they work?
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that because that's complicated. I have some feelings on that, but what's that?
Could be its episode on why that didn't work. That I do agree that heel turns happen because you're really trying to generate new buzz into someone.
Oh yeah.
That's also why that's also why conversely they may not work.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, if it's forced. A great example, when you say a heel turn that doesn't work, the first thing that comes to mind for me is Goldberg. When they tried that in WCW, that did not work at all.
There was one before it.
Hmm?
One before it, WCW did, and even the night it happened, it wasn't why the hell are they doing this? I'm mad they're doing this. It was doesn't make sense. Dusty Rhodes joining the NWA.
Yeah, that one was strange too. Yeah.
Well, they did it. To be fair, their heart was in the right place as to why they did it. They wanted to have a veteran influence around Scott Hall and Louis Spicolli at all.
Yeah.
Even on the road. So how else do you explain why Dusty is traveling with these two?
Right. For those who don't know, Scott Hall and Louis Spicolli obviously both had pretty severe issues in terms of, I guess, alcohol, right? I don't know. Not so much pills, but maybe. I'm not sure. You would know better than me.
Definitely with Scott, it was pills.
It was pills? Okay.
Yeah, him and Sean would take
that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Dusty Rhodes one was strange.
That was so bad. And then it was so bad that it was one of them that they just moved him back to the announce booth with no explanation.
Yeah, they just abandoned it, which isn't very satisfying.
Fans were totally cool with it.
Yeah. That was a strange one. I'd actually forgotten about that one.
That was bad. Goldberg's was bad because they did it after they ended the streak. And if you were to end the streak, write him off TV. Take him off TV for a while. But no, they still wanted him around because he was a draw. The problem is, what do you do with him? The streak has ended. You should want to strap a rocket to Kevin Nash's ass straight to the top.
Yeah.
But they did. They did the finger poke of doom.
Oh, that was dreadful. But the other go ahead.
But I think the Goldberg heel turn, because they tried it twice.
Oh, they did? I don't
The
remember
second, I think it would have worked because fans were starting to turn on him, but he had to go and punch his hand through that car window.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, yeah. He almost severed his hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that, I mean, that would have been the time to do it. And you have him join. You have him join the NWO, and it would have made sense.
Yeah. But the problem,
and that incarnation of the NWO, had they went that route, would have made a lot of sense.
yeah. The problem with the
But
first one,
you had Goldberg got injured shortly after Brett got injured, ironically by Goldberg.
yeah.
So without Brett and without Goldberg, you had Steiner, Nash, and Jarrett.
Well, the biggest problem with the first one to me was when I remember that the promo, the big promo, Goldberg comes out and we're gonna hear from him now as a heel, and he goes, he says something like, "So everyone's asking me why'd you do it? Well, I'll tell you why. Why the hell not?" And it's like, oh, that's great. Okay. I mean, that literally is what he said, and it's like, this is some lazy writing here. I mean, there was never any. He never offered an explanation. It was stupid. Very, very stupid.
Was, and that's the interesting thing about it, is it never made sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just was never done right.
So do you have a favorite heel turn?
Yeah, it's got to be Brett.
Yeah.
It's got to be Brett.
When now I assume you're talking about the double turn with Austin that happened in the ring during their match. Is that what are you referring to that specifically? I assume you're not referring to any of the several, however many that happened in WCW where they had him turning almost as often as the Big Show. I assume you're not talking about that.
I'm talking the Austin one because that
Yeah.
one, and then the next night, that promo he cut,
Yep.
and then to come out and cut the promo with Owen and Davey in the middle of their match.
Yeah.
This was so awesome.
It was.
It was great. And that stare he gives, like that cold, callous stare, as Davey and Owen are hugging him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God, this is great.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was excellent. Of course.
My favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Hogan joining the NWO.
Yep. Yep.
Is
so
well. And one thing that I'll say about that is a lot of people have said that this is a detriment to it, but I think it actually made it better. It was a little nuanced part of it.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
A little nuanced part of it is when Hogan's walking down and Bobby Heenan on commentary goes, "But whose side is he on?"
Yeah, I didn't care for that.
Loved it because that was Bobby. Bobby for all these years had bashed Hogan and said he's done. If Bobby wouldn't have said something like that, I think it would have spoiled it.
See, I think, well, I liked one of the things, I didn't like that he said that, but I don't think it ruined it by any means either. But I do think that one of the things that made the Hogan turn so effective was Bobby Heenan then on commentary, not just then, but week after week saying, Bobby Heenan, the classic heel manager, saying over and over, he'd say it every week, I told you who this guy really was all these years. I told you who Hulk Hogan really was, and you didn't listen, and I was right. And he was kind of vindicated. And that was a cool part that I think a lot of people missed. A lot of people missed that because nobody ever brings that part up. But that, to me, that's a key element in what made the Hogan turn so effective.
If it wasn't for Bobby Heenan I don't think Hulk Hogan would have been as over as he was.
Yeah.
Bobby Heenan, as much as the Iron Sheik and Roddy Piper jump-started Hulkamania, Bobby Heenan carried it.
Oh, yeah.
Because for it to be successful, you have to have that monster heel. And
Yes.
a lot of the monster heels WWF had at that time, as it was in the 80s, you don't sit there and, how do I want to word this? They didn't have great mic skills.
Mm-hmm.
You had to have a mouthpiece with them. That mouthpiece for a lot of them was Bobby Heenan.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Bobby Heenan is what really made the Andre Hogan feud work.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, because Andre couldn't talk much. And yeah.
If it wasn't for Bobby, you don't have that precipice for Andre turning.
Yeah.
You have the person that was in Andre's ear.
Oh, it was so great when Andre and Heenan walk out on Piper's Pit, and Hogan's like, "What are you doing with this guy?" Oh, it was perfect. It was so well done.
Signing.
What's that?
The contract signing.
Oh, yeah, that was good too.
If you're gonna sign it, brother, sign it. I don't need to hear him.
Yeah. No, the whole thing was so good. The match was shit, but the buildup was incredible. I mean, to me, that was just, and I was like a kid. I was like, wow. I was just enthralled by all of it. Should we talk about John Cena?
We can.
Because there's a lot to unpack with that one.
I think it goes back to my original point.
Mm-hmm.
About Cena.
Mm-hmm.
Is the original point I had in regards to John Cena in the heel turn, or anyone doing a heel turn, I'm sorry, is the talent has to believe in it. Mm-hmm. And I don't, John was fully committed to being a heel.
Yeah,
I think that hurt it. I think a key element of it was The Rock. In not having The Rock there after the heel turn killed it. Because the whole reason this started is The Rock wanted Cody's soul.
Right.
But John sold his soul to The Rock.
Right.
But yeah, it just made the whole thing bad.
So here's what I think, and this is, and we talked about it before. I'm definitely in the minority. I'm on an island on this. I know within the IWC. I liked the heel Cena turn. Well, I think everyone liked the turn. Like that moment was seismic. But I liked that. I don't agree that he wasn't committed. I think he was. I think that what people didn't like. What a lot of people didn't like, I think they wanted Cena to be more sort of overtly evil, or they were looking for something that he wasn't quite giving us. And this is what I think I said this to you before. I'll say it again. I liked that he didn't overplay it. He underplayed it. And I thought that was cool. It's like when he came out and he said, what, you expect me to go back to my old music or have new music, or you expect different outfits or whatever, you get nothing. And that minimalism, I like that whole thing.
I think the promos were very good.
Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah.
I just think not having The Rock killed it. John Cena could have done anything. John Cena is a great mic guy. One of the best to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But if you're going to have a person be a precipice, for a heel turn, that
Mhm.
person consistently be around.
It helps. I think they could have gotten around that though. I really do. And part of why I think if they needed to tweak as much as I was enjoying it, I would have tweaked a couple things. One of them being, and I think because Cena is so good on the mic, he could have pulled this off. You know, if it really, because they didn't play up enough the element of spin it a little bit as I didn't sell my soul to The Rock. I sold my soul to Hollywood. And they could have, even with The Rock not being around, they could have drawn on the past and said, you know, this is what they could have done. And Cena totally could have pulled it off. They could have had Cena out there saying, listen, I criticized The Rock all those years ago, but now I get it. Now I understand why the real reason he sold his soul to Hollywood. Now that I'm in that position, I finally get it. So now I'm doing the same damn thing and you all don't like it, but this is who I really am. Something like that. So even without The Rock around, if you adjust the narrative, he didn't sell his soul to The Rock. He's just following The Rock's example. He's now sold his soul to Hollywood. I think with that little adjustment, I think it would have worked better. But they didn't do that. And listen, when I see all the stuff he's doing now that he's gone back to being a babyface, it is all really good. I loved his match with AJ Styles. I get it. So maybe it is just as well that it didn't work out and they changed him back, because we are getting some really good stuff. But I will say this to everyone who says, oh, it was a failure, they should never have done the heel turn to begin with. I would just say this. Think about this. Even if you hated everything about it, if they hadn't, if in an alternate universe says no John Cena heel turn, right? If they hadn't done that, we would have been deprived of an awesome moment, because Cena's heel turn, in my opinion, that moment, it was seismic. It was, people were talking about it on par with the Hogan heel turn, and everything about it was so perfectly done. The way they zoom in on his face when he's hugging Cody and The Rock is looking at him and they make eye contact and Cena's expression changes and he goes from smiling to that sinister look. And oh my God, it was so good. And if they hadn't gone for it, if they hadn't at least tried that, we would have been deprived of that amazing moment, which, by the way, got a lot of mainstream media attention. I'm sure you did. I know I talked to people. I heard from people who were like, hey, Matt, what's this all about? I saw something on the news about John Cena's a villain now, and I haven't watched wrestling in a long time, so I haven't kept up with what's going on. Tell me about it. I mean, we would have been deprived of all of that if they hadn't gone for it.
Yeah, I had people come up to me at work and they're like, what'd they do with John Cena?
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
But you then have to, I felt anyway that I had to go into nuances of the business.
It's a lot to explain. Like if you're talking to somebody who either has never really been into wrestling or they just haven't watched it in a really long time, it is a lot to explain to somebody. Yes. it's a lot to get into at the water cooler. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we only have a 15-minute break.
Right.
Well, why would they do that? Well, he's retiring, but wrestling's fake. Well,
yeah, it is a lot to get into. But anyway, the point being, I'm really glad they at least tried it, because no matter how you feel about it, that's one of those awesome moments that we're all going to remember for the rest of our lives, you know?
When he told the kid we're in a toxic relationship.
Oh my God, yes. I loved that. But I even loved just the subtle things. Like I said, because he underplayed it, just the things like, oh, you know what I loved was that backstage promo where he encounters Jey Uso and he just totally deadpan, just says to him, you know, if you lose to Logan Paul, that would almost ruin wrestling. And just the way that he delivered the line, it was so deadpan. Like, I know, and people were like, I heard Brian Alvarez saying, oh, what? He's talking like a robot. There's not even any emotion there. It's like, dude, don't you get it? That's the thing. He's underplaying it, and it's awesome.
Get the hustle, loyalty, respect, John Cena. We're
Yeah.
getting Cena. He's going through the motions. He's just giving us just enough because that's all he has to do.
Yep. Yep. I loved it, but again, I'm in the minority.
To it is to have his first promo explain why happen at an international show.
Yeah.
I think that kind of killed it too. I think that should have been saved for a really big WWE market like New York City,
Yeah.
somewhere in the upper East Coast, or like a wrestling town like Chicago, or even Dallas Fort Worth area could have done it.
Well, I also, and we talked about this before too, I also would have tweaked that a little bit too, because I think they should have waited. What I think they should have, I think he should have maintained being a heel going into that match with Cody. And then after losing the title to Cody, then maybe turn babyface by, raising Cody's hand and being cool. And then the next night do a promo where instead of saying, because I didn't like when he turned back and he said, I let somebody, he made an obvious reference to The Rock, which was cool. I believed in somebody who abandoned me, or however he said it. And then he said something about they talked me into making shocking television, because then it was almost like he's coming out and saying, I just did this to make good TV, which is kind of borderline breaking kayfabe. He could have said something like, he could have been a little more vulnerable. And he did show some vulnerability, saying, I was afraid you would all forget about me and this and that. But what he should have said, I think something like, I felt like I had to do this. Like I had to be bad. I had to cheat because I was so obsessed with winning this title one more time, getting to 17. I was so obsessed with it. I let that take me over, and I realized I was wrong now. And I'm sorry. Something like that would have been better.
I like the whole good TV line, because keep in mind, around the time he said that was when the controversy regarding Untold had occurred.
Oh, Unreal?
Yes. When that controversy really started kicking up. So I think the line there, but I see your issue with it. It was kind of like, I never thought John Cena would be a sellout. That's almost kind of a detriment.
Yeah.
Like, I'm cool with you saying you were tempted by winning 17. You didn't think you could do it without help, yada, 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 yada. But then when you went to that line, I get it. It's like, oh, so John Cena's a sellout. Are there ever any real heroes anymore? Oh, I guess not. It's the end of the Night of the Living Dead.
Right. Oh, so I have a question. And if you don't want to speak for him, I get it, but I'll ask you, what about Austin? How did he feel about it?
He loved it.
I'm
pretty sure. Yeah, he liked it. I think he got kind of tired of it.
Yeah.
The midway point, like, okay. Yeah, but look, even to be fair, there's a lot of similarities between Austin and I. A lot of them. When Brett turned, I didn't turn on Brett.
Right. Of course.
I wanted to wear clothes with the Canadian flag on it in school. Yeah. Through the hallways when I was in 8th grade, telling everyone it sucks.
Yeah.
And copying Bret Hart's statements from Raw about why America sucks.
Wow.
If I could stick on the United States of America, I'd stick it right here in Taft Middle School.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so you were all in.
I loved it. I loved it. I was upset that we didn't get Heart Foundation shirts.
Yeah.
Brett, I loved every minute of it. And I think a lot of it, because to me it made sense. It's like, you're booing this guy. Why are you booing him? Mm-hmm. You're booing him because any heel turn also has to resonate in reality.
Yeah, it has to. There has to be logic to it. It can't just be. It can't just be. Oh, this person is evil all of a sudden, right?
You can't. People can't sit here and say, "Oh, well, you can't just do it." People heard the boos for Brett.
Mhm.
People Brett become kind of a crybaby. So it made sense, but you could also argue, but Brett is getting screwed constantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, see why he's mad? How dare you boo this man? The injustices being done to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, if you were a true Bret Hart fan, you definitely were riding that wave.
In some ways, Brett was ahead of his time, and that whole storyline was ahead of its time in the sense that, because we've talked about how, to me personally, like we're in the golden age of wrestling right now because we see a level of nuance with characters and their stories and that we have not seen very much before now, in my opinion. But I feel like that was like a precursor to all of that because Bret Hart had become, he was never one dimensional, but now he was this really nuanced character where, yeah, he's a heel, but you could definitely be sympathetic and see that he has a point. And they did this innovative thing, of course, where he's a heel in the United States, but he's still the hero everywhere else, not only in Canada, but internationally. So, so that was really innovative too. And he was absolutely fantastic through all of it. I mean, his promos, those were the best promos of his career, I think. Just fantastic.
America, they say love it or leave it. Well, I'm loving leaving it.
Oh yeah. All of it was so good. All of it was so good.
America, in Canada, we care about family values. Brett, 3 years ago, you were bashing your brother's face into a steel cage.
Right. No, everything about it was great.
That's my favorite heel turn.
That's your favorite?
Because I just think it was amazing. I think another one I loved, he wasn't really a heel turn. It was more of a tweener.
Sting.
When they thought he was going to defect to the NWO.
Well, yeah, I mean, but he never actually
defect, but it was a tweener promo, and I loved it because, and then you didn't see him for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And it was how they did that was awesome.
Yes, that was very, very good.
The entire build up, because even going into Starrcade, I'm sure you remember this, there was a little undercurrent. What if he really is a member of the NWO? And this is all by Hogan. Like they do where Sting just lays down for Hogan. How ironic that would end up being the final nail in WCW's coffin. Somebody laid down for Hogan.
Right.
A couple, 2-3 years later.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was, I love the tweener Sting.
Yeah. That's another great example too, where they were able to really present a character in a nuanced way and in a complex way, and not just one dimensional. Yeah, that's a great example. Any other notable heel turns we haven't talked about? I mean, I feel like we've talked about the biggest ones, but
yeah, I'm trying to think.
We talked about Andre.
One that never just went over like the Titanic hitting an iceberg. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, that one's complicated too, though.
Example of when it doesn't work. Never should have done it.
I agree with you. except for one thing. You know how when I talked about Cena, I talked about some of what we would have been deprived of if we didn't get the turn. So with Austin, if we hadn't gotten that turn, we would have been deprived of things like, oh, I'll tell you one of Jenny's favorite promos that she stumbled upon YouTube one day. The promo where they're doing the the invasion storyline, and Vince is backstage and he's talking like, the guys, this is an invasion, and Austin goes, invasion, and Vince is like, guys, we got to support each other, and Austin's like, support each other. And it's so funny.
Undertaker the whole time is biting his lower lip because he's trying.
So that's the thing. It's like, yeah, I agree with you. The turn was terrible, but we would have missed out because Austin turns out.
Great. That is some of my favorite theme music is Alliance Stone Cold Steve Austin theme music.
Yeah. That was good too. That was good. But he did like the stuff he was doing with Kurt Angle. I mean, he really, Austin got to really kind of show off his comedic chops. What's that? Oh, the hat. Baby. Yeah. There was a lot of, so, people shit on the Austin turn. And I do think in the broad sense, it was a bad idea, but we did get some good stuff out of that. We really did. So
yeah, I just think that I think there was probably a better way they could have done it. I don't think they needed Vince for it to happen. I think agree. Could have just had Austin just beat the hell out of The Rock and screw him over in that match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one way. But if you don't have Vince, then you don't. I think it went off the rails when Triple H blew his quad out.
Mm-hmm.
I think had Triple H not gotten injured, you could have salvaged it. And that's one of the biggest what ifs ever in pro wrestling history. Because what if Triple H would have been part of the invasion angle? If Triple H would have been involved, you might argue they could have gotten Hall and Nash.
Right.
And Shawn Michaels and done something. Or you could have had a third group. You could have had the Clique come back and say, hey, we're back.
Right. Yeah. Also, it's interesting with the Austin heel turn, there's the inevitable face turn. And I honestly don't even remember how the face turn happened. I cannot. All I can recall. So obviously it wasn't very memorable. All I can really remember is it almost was like a gradual sort of. They just sort of phased him back into being a babyface after a while. I don't even remember anything particular about it.
How it happened is they had that winner take all at Survivor Series.
Okay.
They had Kurt Angle turn on the Alliance to cost them the match.
Okay.
They had Angle over Austin and The Rock pinned Austin to end it.
Okay.
So then the next night is when Ric Flair returned, and because Vince was just going to give Kurt Angle the WWF Championship, and Ric Flair's like, no, I'm a co-owner with you because kids sold their stock to me.
I remember that.
I'm rehiring Stone Cold, and you're going to face Stone Cold for that title.
Oh, okay.
And that got him back over, and then, about 6 months later, Stone Cold walked out.
Oh, yes. Yep. It's funny when I think about Flair and that whole angle. Flair comes in and supposedly he's co-owner, and all I remember about that is I remember Flair coming in. I remember it was a big moment, and I remember Vince pulling his ear like Carol Burnett used to do when he was upset when Ric Flair came out, and I remember Flair saying something to him like, remember when your kids sold their stock to a consortium? Well, the consortium is me, and now I'm your, it was all very convoluted, but But that's all I remember. I don't even remember the Stone Cold part of that.
Yeah, it was. And then at Vengeance, they had a 4-man tournament. Rock took on Chris Jericho for the big gold bell. Stone Cold took on Kurt Angle for the WWF title. The winners advanced. Stone Cold took on Chris Jericho for the undisputed WWF championship.
Yeah.
And WO screwed over Stone Cold.
That I remember now. Yeah. Yep.
Then that began the downfall, because instead of putting Austin with Hogan, they put him with Hall.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, I just thought of a heel turn. I can't believe I didn't think of this one till just now, because it involves my favorite wrestler of all time, Macho Man Randy Savage. Even though it was predictable, the mega powers exploding, but it was still great. I loved it. Oh, I loved that whole thing. Hogan versus Macho Man.
I did too. The promos we got out of Macho Man were just amazing.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Hulk Hogan, I hate your guts.
Those promos are incredible. Yeah.
Lust in your eyes.
Yeah. Especially that last.
To my right, no puka maniacs to my left.
Yeah.
And every one of them, he was just doused in sweat or oil. You're like, dude.
And the very last promo that aired on television right before, he's like, it was him at his absolute most intense. Like,
Hulk Hogan, I hate your guts.
Yeah. Oh, so good. So good. And Hogan, to give him credit, I mean, he played his role well and all that too. But Macho Man was just untouchable. Just so good.
I'm the minority. And we've talked about this in our Macho Man episode. Yeah. Macho Man should have went over.
Oh, I would have loved that. Well, he was my favorite, so I wanted him to anyway, but I knew that he wouldn't, but I would have loved if he had.
It would have made perfect sense. You have him drop the elbows, but at that time, they were thinking not just of WrestleMania 5, but WrestleMania 6, and we can player Hogan.
Yeah. Well, also, I mean, at that time, it was unthinkable for the heel to go over in the main event of WrestleMania. You know what I mean? I mean, that didn't happen until Triple H. Triple H was the first heel to go over in a main event at WrestleMania. And I remember even when that happened, which one was that? Cause I get confused on the numbers, but
you could argue 9 was the first one where a heel went over.
Is that the one I'm thinking of? Wait, who went over and
beat Bret?
Oh, Stone Cold beat Bret. No, I'm talking about in the main event though.
At WrestleMania 9 at Caesar's Palace, Yokozuna beat Bret Hart for the WWF Championship.
Oh, I'm sorry, Eric. Your mic cut out a little bit. I thought you said I thought you said something else. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, but that doesn't. But you still have Hogan come out and send the fans so happy.
And over in the main event.
Well, that's true. That's true. But you know what I mean. When the final image of the show is a heel victorious. I mean, Triple H was the first one. That was WrestleMania. That was WrestleMania 2000, wasn't it?
I'm trying to think, because I watched every WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think back. 9, 10 Bret, 11. 11 was Lawrence Taylor, because Lawrence Taylor was in the main event that year.
Yeah.
With Bam Bam Low. 12 was Shawn. 13 was Sid. No, 13. Sid was the heel. No, 13 Taker won.
Yeah. Yeah.
Taker beat Sid. 14 Austin. 15 Austin. 2000 Triple H.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. In that fatal 4-way. Because I remember being very surprised. I remember watching it live with a friend and we were very surprised. It was like, wow, the bad guy won.
He said, going into it, I said either Triple H is going to win or Mick Foley.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, Foley drop it the next night.
Mm.
But when Foley was the first one eliminated, I'm like, okay, this is where we're going. It makes sense. Triple H was wide hot.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think you could have argued you couldn't have went wrong going with The Rock there. Mm-hmm. I think the greater crime was it being a fatal 4-way.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that.
McMahon in every corner, No. I think overkill. It should. What?
It was overkill.
I think you just have it be Triple H and The Rock. And because that, then I think you could argue you have Rock go over. Because was moreover in the next month anyway, you had The Rock win. And then the month after that, you had Triple H win. In one of the best Iron Man matches outside of Brett and Shawn ever.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, the Iron Man match between Triple H and The Rock does not get talked about enough. Is like a wrestling match.
So much so that I kind of forgot that it even happened until you mentioned it just now. But you're right. Yeah, nobody ever talks about that one. You're right.
Shawn Michaels was the special guest referee.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Nobody ever mentions that one. Nobody thinks about it. It's interesting. Yeah.
Big things happened in that. That was Shawn's last appearance until 2001. Undertaker returned as the American Badass. Yeah. And then in June at King of the Ring, The Rock pinned Shane McMahon to become WWF champion. It was a complex mess. And I think you avoid all of that if you just would have done Rock, Triple H, WrestleMania 2000, Rock goes over, and then you can do it then at SummerSlam, you can have Triple H beat him or Angle beat him.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you mentioned The Undertaker. There's another heel turn that I felt was a failure. Was when McMahon wanted Jim Ross to kiss his ass to enter the Kiss My Ass Club, and he didn't want to do it.
The Darkness, and I'm like, no. Ministry of Darkness Undertaker was amazing.
Yeah, no, I liked that, but I didn't like when as the American Badass he turns on Jim Ross and aligns with Vince, and it was very weak. And I thought at that point in Taker's career, I was like, why do you want to make him a heel now? Because at that point, I felt like he had reached that point where the fans really didn't want to boo him. And I think I was right. I don't think the fans ever really did want to boo Undertaker at that point. And I don't think that particular heel run was effective. And I don't think it lasted that long either. I mean, a little bit, but I remember he started to turn, although his face turn back was somewhat gradual. But I remember he had the match with Jeff Hardy where he ended up showing respect to him at the end. What's that?
Shook his hand.
Yeah. And that was like, oh, Taker, it looks like he's going to be turning babyface. And then he did. But yeah, that particular heel turn, I didn't think was effective at all. And I was like, what are you doing that with Taker for at this point? You know, that's how I felt about it. But we didn't mention that you want to, it's funny. I keep remembering ones that we forgot, but I don't know if there's any others that you have.
Summed it up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and we've been on for about an hour and a half too, so this is probably a good. So what are we? Should we talk about what we're doing next week?
We're gonna have fun next week. In honor of it being in honor of Halloween passing,
Yes.
we are going to get one of the most infamous cards in WCW history. Halloween Havoc 1991.
Oh yes.
Featuring the Chamber of Horrors match.
Yes.
With El Gigante, Sting and the Steiners defeating Big Van Vader, Cactus Jack, Abdullah the Butcher, and the Diamond Stud.
How can you go wrong? Oh, by the way, speaking of Halloween Havoc, Jenny and I just watched NXT's Halloween Havoc. It was quite good. Did you watch it?
I have not. I usually watch, though, I'll watch that tomorrow during the day.
Oh, okay.
But great things.
Yeah, it was very good. NXT events, though, they're almost always really good. Sometimes I think they're better than the main roster. But
we'll talk about such great matches as the Halloween Phantom defeating Tom Zink.
I don't even remember the Halloween Phantom.
Lex Luger defeating Ron Simmons in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the WCW World Championship.
Oh. Wow, okay.
Bill Kazmaier.
I remember him.
Defeating Oz.
Oh, God. Yeah. Poor Kevin.
Bad defeating Jimmy Garvin.
Oh, Jimmy Garvin. Does he do the Garvin stomp in that match? My favorite finishing move. I'm kidding. What's that?
It's Ronnie Garvin that did the Garvin stomp.
Oh, you said Jimmy Garvin, didn't you?
It's the Fabulous Freebird.
Sorry. Yes. Was he wearing his feather boa? Jimmy Garvin?
Yes, I'm sure he does.
I hope so.
And then Big Josh and PN News defeat the Creatures.
Big Josh and PN News. I remember them both, but boy, they kind of faded away, huh?
PN faded away because he refused to do a job.
Oh, I think you've talked about that before, yeah. And whatever happened to Big Josh? He got a pretty big push for a while.
Did get a pretty big push in early 90s WCW. El Gigante wrestled for the WCW title on a Clash of the Champions.
Yeah. I guess it was Slim Pickens. All right. That makes sense then. Yeah. Big Josh. He carried a hatchet, didn't he? Didn't he carry a hatchet with him? He was a woodsman.
That next week.
Yeah. Big Josh.
Scratch that. I'm going to do something interesting, Matt. If you're willing to put it up for a vote.
Okay.
Cover either Halloween Havoc 1991.
Okay.
There's some bad Halloween Havocs.
Yeah.
Or which one? Halloween Havoc 1992. The first under Eric Bischoff. Spin the wheel, make the deal.
I did enjoy the promos.
Featuring the infamous coal miner's glove match between Snake Roberts and Sting.
I did enjoy the cinematic promos that they did for that, as cheesy as they were. The Sting walks into that bar or whatever the hell it was, and and they all start chanting, "Spin the wheel, make the deal," and it's so bad. It was so bad, it was good.
And you have the opening match, the babyface team of Johnny Gunn, Johnny Ace, Shane Douglas, and Tom Zink defeat Arn Anderson, Bobby Eaton, and Michael Hayes, but the faces get booed.
Oh, they do?
Because they're in Philadelphia.
Okay. All right. That sounds interesting. So you want me to put up a poll? I could put up a poll. I could put it
Yes,
online.
cover Halloween Havoc 1989 with the Chamber of Horrors or 92 with Spin the Wheel.
Okay, so 89 or 92. Okay, yeah, I'll do that tonight. I'll put up a poll. We'll see what happens. All right.
Yes, both are just equally bad.
Wow. Do you know if this man wasn't either of them?
I think he might have been on some dark matches.
Probably. Well, excellent. Well, very good. Very good. So I think this has been great. Episode 20 in the books. Thank you to everyone who watched the show live if you were streaming. And of course, to everyone who, most of our listeners, of course, will get it in the podcast form on your podcasting platform of choice. Or you can always go to mattconnerton.com and find it there. And Eric, where can people find you?
They can find me on TikTok, E-Rich319. They can find me on Instagram, ePilcher617. They can find me on Twitter, ERPilcher319.
Very good. Very good. Well, all right. So we will see you next week, Eric. Thanks, everybody. And
Rocky does not have a social media presence.
Rocky does not. Okay.
He does not. He's very individual.
He's very private. Yeah.
Yes, although his calendar is being released shortly.
Oh, good. Oh, yes. Excellent. Well, very good.
Yes. He's also June.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to that. All right. Excellent. All right, Eric. Thank you. And thanks, everybody. And this has been episode 20 of Tough Bumps. And don't forget to look for that poll. And we'll talk to y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.